Welcome, General. I feel it's time to share my opinion on how the game currently works. So I will talk about exploits, botting, and the quality of the support system. An exploit is a tool used to take advantage of a security flaw or vulnerability in a system. These appear in almost every game, and their existence is not the real issue. The real problem is always how these situations are handled. I want to recall two serious exploits from the recent past as examples. One of these was an issue during the Samurai event where, with some tricks at the townships, players could duplicate the tools placed on the wall. Some users gained millions of Nomad slits and Hall of Legends defense tools through this method. The severity of the problem was later acknowledged by the game's community manager in a post. There is no legal way to obtain this number of tools, especially not for free. For the following period, the developers removed the Samurai event from the game while they worked on fixing the bug. Progress was slow, and multiple sources confirmed that the issue still wasn't fully resolved. In other words, some players still have these duplicated tools. The second exploit was far more serious and caused significantly more disruption in the game. This wasn't a new exploit. It had existed in the game for a long time, but only spread widely later. I don't have direct proof of this, as I wasn't aware of it earlier. Players were able to duplicate various currencies and items, such as affluence tickets, rubies, troops, and even decorations. Essentially, they could produce massive amounts of almost any valuable item. The developers were eventually forced to disable the game elements affected by the exploit, such as Master Blacksmith, the Wishing Well, and several tents used for trading. Hundreds of players received temporary bans, which I will explain in more detail later. Even when the video was made, there were still active exploits in the Outer Realms and on Horizon. You can practically buy anything available in the main shop. Some players buy mead troops or even 20 by 20 decorations to gain an advantage. In extreme cases, cheaters can delete buildings from their castles, capture a fortress without having a main castle, or create thousands of accounts to flood the servers. This causes significant harm to players who take the game seriously, invest time and money, and want to play under fair conditions. These cases often go hand in hand with the use of bots, as many cheaters automate their actions to exploit game bugs more efficiently. There are many types of bots, but the principle is the same for all, automating processes that players could perform manually. Some bots launch attacks automatically, others manage defenses or station troops. Some even send notifications on Discord if someone attacks. Certain bots sell equipment, recruit troops, or craft items. Many players also use these bots for events, such as in the Outer Realms or Horizon, where they reach the top positions and then sell them to others for money. Practically every in-game process can be automated. I also don't think it's right that instead of taking action against bots, the developers create their own and charge money for them. It would be much fairer and cleaner to consistently reject all forms of automated assistance, regardless of who created them. Punishing players is always a sensitive topic, but with the examples I collected, I want to show the darker side of it. Most bans are usually justified, but I have spoken to several players who turned out to have done nothing wrong, yet still received a ban. Here is their message, which they would like to share with you. I've been part of Empire 4 Kingdoms for over a decade. I built my account, my reputation, and my alliance status with care, time, and not least money. Then I was banned. That first ban didn't just hit me, it triggered a war that tore through our server, destroyed alliances, and led to the downfall of many key accounts. When they reopened my account, I took it as a second chance. I even spent money again, hoping the worst was behind me. But then they banned me again without warning or mail, and when they open my account again, how can I trust they not do it all over again? That second ban shattered something deeper. My standing in the alliance was gone, and so was my belief in the game. What hurts the most isn't the ban, it's the betrayal. The complete failure of Goodgame Studios to handle this responsibly, transparently, or even professionally. I no longer believe in their ability or intention to protect the community they profit from. My player account was problem-free for 6 years, was suddenly banned on a Friday morning. The system said I would receive an email explaining the reason, but none arrived, and support did not respond. The 1-week ban ended early on Monday, and since my Ruby-based building items had expired, I requested compensation and asked for the reason. The next Friday, I was banned again, this time for 3 weeks. Communication finally started, but the exact reason was never given. I was only told it was due to illegally obtained items, such as rubies or tokens. When I requested details, support claimed they had emailed them and said it probably ended up in the spam folder, even though we were already corresponding by email. After roughly 2.5 weeks, the ban ended, but I logged in to find severe shortages of food and honey. My apiaries had been moved to storage, my mead district was reduced from level 9 to 5, and building items were removed from all greenhouses, causing 1.5 million troops to starve, which later restored. I reported the incorrect mead district level, but received no meaningful answer. In total, the ban lasted 3 weeks. On the evening of June 19th, I got banned without any email or bird, right in the middle of a war, and I had no idea why. I wrote to their support the same day. It would have been easy to destroy all my troops and a lot of tools, and I couldn't do anything. The next evening, while I was at work, I got bird finally, but still no email. Then the 1-week ban became 2 weeks. On June 23rd, I finally got an email. At first, I thought everything was fine with my account, and our leaders in my alliance advised me it would be better if I didn't write them again, as long as everything looked okay, since I had no idea what I did wrong. If you have no idea what caused it, you might make the same mistake again. Later, I wanted to switch my defense mode back to attack mode, and I noticed my decos were missing from my storage. I sent them a picture showing that I had about 10,000 construction tokens and 37,000 upgrade tokens, but got no answer. After that, I sent a new message on July 13th, and within 20 minutes, I received back the decorations. Over time, some of them received compensation for the unjust ban. However, the reputations of players banned without cheating were destroyed, since an outside observer who tries to trust the developers can reasonably assume that everyone was banned justly. A better system is needed that can detect cheating players more accurately. The support system has recently become accessible from within the game, which is a good step, but it hasn't solved any problems. There are shortcomings in its implementation. For example, you cannot open multiple tickets from one account, and players cannot close tickets themselves. However, these issues are less important than its faulty operation. When you submit a case, most of the time you have to wait weeks or even months, depending on the category you choose. Cases are often closed with an automatic response, suggesting that the ticket was created under the wrong category. The weakness of the support system also contributes to players' uncertainty. Immediate action is needed in this area. Share and like the video, then write your experiences in a comment. Have a great day.